I just started the recording, and this is a class for listings to leads on Facebook advertising. And I asked a question before we got started: who is running ads and who is not? And it looks like a 50-50 split when I asked the question, are you using our system to run ads? Now, let me ask one more question, and please answer this one. Just yes or no to this one. Do you run ads on Facebook, even without listings to leads? Have you run ads on Facebook? And if you feel like they're successful, if you can, let me know. Okay. Okay, so a lot of you really haven't even run ads on Facebook. Okay, cool. So let's talk about all these great things. First of all, let me give you a little commercial here, okay? In case you don't know what we do. We're listings to leads. We've been doing this for 12 years. We have tools for agents who have listings, and we have tools for agents who don't have listings. And whether you want to get more buyer leads or more seller leads, we got tools for you. Now, some of them have to do with social media. A lot of our tools, we actually have probably the strongest game in social media advertising for realtors in the country, right? And as I show you, I'm going to dive into a lot of what we've done. You may not know this because I don't recognize a lot of your names, but we have added a lot of new functionality in the past 2 months regarding social media. So I'm going to show you that stuff today. But I do want to talk at a high level about Facebook and why I think you should run ads on it, okay? And there's a lot of news. I mean, there's a lot of news on Facebook. If you watch the stock market, you'll notice that it got hit really hard recently, like last week. And one of the stories is they're not getting new subscribers, okay? And if we talk about social media, well, there's a lot of big social media names out there, right? There's Twitter, there's Instagram, there's YouTube, Snapchat, but the new one that's kind of getting everybody excited is TikTok. And so when we talk about anything, if you get on any of my calls, we talk about where our clients are making money, right? I hope that doesn't sound crude, but we are building tools to help our clients grow their business. And we have been around longer than Facebook advertising has been around. We might actually be, yeah, I know it's true that Facebook advertising was not here as long as we are. Because as soon as it was invented, we started training on it. And one of the reasons we started training on it is the reason that I'm going to tell you now. And this is the current number, what I'm about to tell you. 70% of American adults in the United States spend 40 minutes a day on Facebook, okay? And that's a big number because you got to think of, well, where can I, as a realtor, advertise, right? Well, you can advertise on TV, but it's probably pretty expensive. And what I'm going to show you is that you can run a number of ads, spend a few $100 a month, and generate a lot of leads and build your brand. Okay, now this is our mastermind group. If you don't know this group, it is a private group. And if you're a client, you should be in this group. This is where my partner Scott and I talk about the technology we're pushing. Here's somebody saying, like something's not working. And then one of our clients says, oh no, this is why it's not working. But you'll hear a lot of our clients going in here talking about what's going on, right? Like, hey, I'm doing this and I'm getting great results, or I'm getting bad results, or whatever. And the reason why I want to bring us here into the mastermind group is that a couple of our clients just came in here in December. Heidi here came in and said, I'm sharing some great lead gen return. I have 447 leads with name, phone number, and emails for 8 cents each. Okay, that's the kind of thing that can happen with Facebook advertising. Now, I will tell you this, 8 cents a lead is probably the best number I have seen that I can recall. And as I told you, we've been doing this for 8 years, 12 years, forgive me. But the cost per lead, let me show you something over here. The cost per lead is rarely 8 cents a lead. I have seen it low, like 33 cents, which to me was like, whoa, that's really cheap. This is a presentation that we're creating in-house. Kind of, we're going to do some presentations, MLS stories and stuff like that based on this. It's really too long, but I want to point out page 6 here, which is we have analyzed the last $500,000 spent by all of our clients across the country running ads through our system. And we can see that buyer leads on average cost $1.86. We can also see that seller leads cost about $5.77. Okay, so that's like real news. That number I think we pulled together in December. But just so we understand, like, how could that average be 186? And how is this lady getting him at 8 cents? Now, what you should know about Facebook leads is that they're almost like an auction, that the price is never fixed. It's not like Facebook says, hey, it's $1 a lead or it's $5 a lead. Sometimes it looks like that, but it's actually not like that. It really depends on where you are in the country, what state, what city, and more importantly, do you have a lot of competition? Are there a lot of agents running ads against you? Because then your cost of your leads go up, okay? So this is just some high level stuff. This lady posted this, Heidi, in December, 3 days before Christmas last year, right, in December. And the reason they're 8 cent leads is because realtors take, they hibernate in the winter. They have their turkey on Thanksgiving and they take a nap until spring, because that's kind of what realtors think is going on. But there are other realtors that are like, no, all my competition's out of the way. I'm going to keep advertising and marketing all through that dormant period so that when the market pops, I got a stack of people to talk to. And Heidi is exactly that kind of lady. If you read her notes here, she's got a whole follow-up system going. She's stoked that she's generating these kinds of leads. If you look back in December, or actually in January, you'll notice another guy is generating, like, he's like, hey, I got 300 leads, right? So let's get into how in the world you can do that. You can log into your account. And now I have another question. So let me ask you this one as I log into my account. Are all of you connected? I'm going to take us to what I'm talking about right now as I sort of scoot around here. Have you all connected to Facebook with listings to leads? And so for some reason it's taking a second, so let's wait for that to happen. Oh, wrong. That's why it's going to the wrong area. Storm. Let's see here. So I'll explain what I'm saying. So when you log in, it kind of brings you on this page. All right, and there's sort of some setup stuff here. And one thing it says is connect to social media. And you should all connect to all these social media platforms. Go find your old passwords, even if you don't use these, because we put hashtags on them. Hashtags like real estate and house hunting. So even if you have 3 friends on Twitter and you don't even use Twitter, when we auto post your listings there, a lot of people will see them, people who you don't even know. We put your listings on YouTube, right? And if you may not know this, but YouTube is owned by Google. And Google is the #1 website for all searches. I think it's like 85% of all web searches on the internet start on Google. And because Google owns YouTube, if you've got a virtual tour there, it's almost always on page 1. And you know who Googles your listings? The homeowners. They sort of wait a few days and then they go look like, okay, what's this agent doing for me, right? And that YouTube ad will often be there saying that, 123 Main Street is for sale, presented by your name. That's how we write the title, so that people know it's yours, your listing, right? So I would definitely go connect your YouTube channel. If you use Gmail, you actually have a YouTube channel. You may want to put your logo or something on it. But when we do this, connect your social media, that is for automated postings. Okay, now there is lead capture on those, but these are not ads. There's another section here that says connect ad account, and you can connect right there. But I'm going to kind of close this and go to the ads tab up here. And on this page, I'm already connected. So you can see that I can run listing ads, landing page ads, PDF report ads, and I can create an audience. I'll explain all these buttons in a few minutes. But when you come here the first time, it will not look anything like this. You'll see all your past ads after you started running ads. But there will be one big green button that says connect to Facebook. And when you click that, that will take you to Facebook, and it will say continue as you, right? It's like a question, continue as your personal name. And you say yes. And as soon as you click yes, the next page says, what business pages do you want to reflect? You should check the boxes of your business pages that you want to reflect. And you can have multiple ones. You might have community pages, you might have you, Rockstar Realtor, and you might just have like a couple of business pages. You can choose them all and then later on decide which one you want to focus on. Once you've done that, this page will refresh and these three green buttons will be here. They will appear here. All right. So that's step one. Get to this page and connect this. So I've got some answers here. Yes. So some people have connected to this page. Let me say something about this, because they're definitely, it's hard. I was on the phone with somebody, and for me, I can do this in my sleep. But for you, if you've never done it, let me talk about some of the hurdles. There's a weird one when you connect here. When you connect and you connect as your name, and then you pick your business page, you might get an error page. You might get an error message right up here where this green box is, and it'll say you have not assigned a business manager. It's this weird long message. I don't know how to fix that, but you know who does? Our support team. There's just like a couple of boxes that you didn't check. So down here on the left, it says support, and just say, hey, I'm getting this message, blah, 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 and type in the message there, and our whole support team watches that. They're really fast. They're very helpful. Our clients love them. I would definitely go down to support if you get that problem, okay? The other thing that you should know, and half of you have said you've never run ads on Facebook. So let me kind of show you something. If I go to home on Facebook, I have a page here that says listings to leads. You need to make, and so I'm going to go here and let me show you something. If you're putting things on listing on Facebook, on your business page, you'll notice this says boost unavailable, but you should have some things, and I don't know why it's unavailable. It may be my login, because I don't own this page. Why is boosting not available? I have a little music page, so bear with me a second. I'm going to show you something, because I definitely want you to understand. I'm not actually going to tell you to boost anything. If you know what boosting is, let me see here. Why am I having? Excuse me. Why is boosting unavailable? Maybe there's something wrong with my account. But you see here where it says boost unavailable. So I'm sorry, guys. You see where it says boost unavailable here for this post? It should say boost, right? And if you, I really recommend that you click that button if you've never run an ad before, because when you click it, it's going to show you how to sort of quasi run an ad. But if you don't have a credit card in the system, it's going to tell you to add a credit card. So if you're somebody here who's never run an ad on Facebook, you want to make sure you have a credit card in that account, so that when you're over here in listings to leads and you say, hey, I want to create an ad, on my listing, the first step, you remember the first step I said is connect your Facebook account. Well, now the next step is, now that it's connected, let's run an ad. I want to run an ad on an open house, right? So I've got my open house in my account. I click create an ad, and this ad, we'll give it a second, is going to reflect your business page. Okay. You notice that mine up here where it says sponsored, it's sponsored by Listings to Leads, and that's because my account is connected to Listings to Leads. Yours is going to be sponsored by your business page. And so it's also, the ad's going to charge. So notice here that this ad, because it's in the city of Berkeley, it's already showing that it's going to go to people who live in Berkeley and a radius of 15 miles. If you're in a place where you don't mind driving 30 miles for business, you can expand that radius. We put $35 as a budget, and this ad will run 1 week. Very simply put, all you got to do is choose your property and click publish. That's how easy it is to run an ad. Okay. Now, I could waste our time right now, and I could tell you that if you go over here to Facebook and try to create an ad on their ad center, that this process takes about 3 pages. You see over here it says create an ad. Page, yeah, okay, I don't know. Yeah, there's something weird with my account. I think it's because I'm connected as our Listings to Leads page, so that's really weird. Anyway, it's hard to create a successful ad on Facebook. And even if you knew how to do it correctly today, I guarantee you in 30 days, it would look different on Facebook and you wouldn't even recognize what you saw. For instance, I'm trying to create an ad on my little page right here, and I've never seen what I'm looking at right now. I have no idea what this is, but that's Facebook. They're innovative. They change their stuff all the time, testing, retesting. And if you want to run an ad, it's ridiculous. I've never seen this kind of look, and I don't know why I can't advertise, but who knows. So let's go look at the questions that are coming in. Jan, thanks. Jan says our support team is amazing. So yeah, that's cool. So very simply, choose your property, click publish, and boom, there you go. But we've just talked about connecting, right? Just connect your ad account. I want to say something since it's early in this call. A lot of people don't know what they should actually do with Facebook and how to think about Facebook. And so I talk to realtors all the time, and I'm going to tell you what I tell them, all right? You should, as a realtor, be running ads twice a week, every week, okay? And really, my recommendation is you create one listing ad, and you create either a PDF report ad or a landing page ad. I'm going to show you how to run all 3 of these, but one listing ad, and then one of these over here, or one of these over here. And now I'm going to walk you through it so you're going to know what it is I'm talking about. And I just created an ad on a open house, remember? I'm going to click one right now on a sold property. Our sold property ads are not, we're not trying to get buyers. We're trying to get more listings. So this home is sold, says, hey, this home is sold, that your home value is affected, get your free home value. Okay, that's what our sold ads are about. So when I'm telling you to run an ad every week, it could be coming soon. It could be just listed. It could be open house. It could be under contract or sold. Now, the early stage ones like coming soon and just listed and stuff, these get a lot of buyer leads, okay? The later stage ones like under contract and pending and sold, these get seller leads, not as many leads. And let me explain that why. I don't know if you remember, but on the last ad for the open house, it was 35 bucks. But this ad, because it's sold, it's 5 bucks, or I'm sorry, 50 bucks, right? We put that in there. You can actually change that number. But let me explain to you why we have 2 different numbers. And remember that those 50 bucks are going to be charged on your credit card. Now, just in case you don't know this kind of ad is called pay-per-click advertising, PPC for short, right? And that means that this ad here that I'm looking at on the right, sponsored by Listings Leads and all this text and all this, when I click publish, that's going to show up right here on this newsfeed, okay? And you see like all kinds of pictures of friends and stuff show up here, but the ads show up right here too, okay? And so where you see my dog's friend up in Canada, or my friend's dog, this ad will show up right there, okay? And every time somebody clicks on it because they want more information, they want that free home value, what happens? Well, on average, $5.77 is going to be chewed off of that $50. That means you can expect like 8 to 9 leads from a $50 spend when trying to get seller leads. Does that make sense? Does everybody understand what's going on here? This is pay-per-click. Every time somebody sees it, they're going to chew off $50. And that lifetime budget means that's as much as you're going to spend. So when we're doing an ad on an open house or just listed, our budget is $35, but on average, you know, a buyer lead is $1.86, so you're going to get a lot more leads on the buyer side. Okay, and sold ads actually do. They don't generate a lot of leads, but they're good leads. You might want to, and I will tell you this kind of ad on a sold home is something that I definitely recommend that you're running sold ads, especially if you want more listings, okay? If you want more listings, this is one of the top ways of getting seller leads. But you need to take an extra step. And so follow me as I click advanced options down here. When I click advanced options, there's all these things that open up. Guess what? If I'm not talking about it, don't worry about it, okay? But here's what I would do. For a lot of clients, a sold ad just by default, you don't even need to click advanced options. They can just click publish. And that ad, as it hits, will work. But if you're in a competitive area, this may not be enough. And so when you're selling a home, there are some things that you can say. So let me, if any of you sold anything recently, do any of these statements ring a bell? In contract, in 5 days, sold, 10K above asking, 8 offers, 7 buyers, still looking. See, what I just typed there is something that you guys know, but Scott and I don't know, right? And so we can't put that in there. What we can automatically put is this dynamic text here, right? We can see this from the MLS and we can put that there. And like I said, sometimes that works. But if you're I talk to realtors all the time. They're like, oh, I just sold all my properties. I have nothing to advertise. And that is quite a mistake. That is a horrible mistake if you're trying to get more listings. If you have sold properties, you by all means have stuff to advertise. Now I want to make it really clear. If you want more listings, the best tool to get more listings has nothing to do with social media. Now I am showing you how to get leads on Facebook, and these are listing leads. But that's because this call is about Facebook. It's about Facebook advertising. So I'm showing you this, but that does not mean that these are the highest quality leads. Sold ads with that kind of text that I've just written there, that actually can work really well. Okay. Any questions on what I'm showing you right here about running a sold ad? I want to point this out because many people have heard me and Scott say, hey, you can also create ads on under contract or pending. And again, they just sort of click and they go here and they're like, hey, nobody's even looking at this, right? Now, this is kind of informative. It's okay for your brand, but let me just point it out. If something says under contract, me as just a normal citizen, I'm just thinking, oh, Interesting, but I can't do anything because I can't buy it because it's under contract. And so what? This guy is a realtor. That's all I know. So if you can take offers, you might want to write that, like we're still accepting backup offers, right? Well, then that's good. People might respond to that. But under contract and pending can often not go anywhere. So you just got to take that into consideration. Sold ads work, especially if you sort of edit them the way that I mentioned, okay? And so that's kind of the listing side. So as I mentioned earlier, I think you should run an ad on a listing every week, right? For 7 days for 35 bucks, right? Now I'm going to pop over to listings because I know, and I'm going to assume, and I could be wrong, but I know there are a lot of agents who don't have listings right now. And so they can go over here, and if they talk to a colleague who says, yeah, go ahead and take my listing and advertise it, you can come here and click on grab active listing, say this is not my listing, so we don't create a YouTube video, drop in the zip code, drop in the MLS ID, and just pull it in. And once you pull it in, we create all these great tools, right? And you can then, from just click marketing ad, market listing, you can right here create a Facebook ad, right? Even on a borrowed listing. So that's why you can run ads all the time. Let's say that something's sold in your area. You could probably market it as sold, right? So you're running an ad every week for a listing. And you can change it. The default is 35 bucks. You could change it down to 20 or 25 if you want. Now, there are also these sections. I'm going to say landing page. I'm going to go over here to PDF guide ads. When you click on that, you'll notice that we have 25 seller reports and we have 25 buyer reports. Okay, just guides, informational. We wrote these in-house. They're not super deep. They're 5 or 6 pages long. You, our client, are on every page of every one of these reports. Okay. And that means this is good for your branding. So if I want to run an ad, let's just say I want to run an ad on divorce and real estate, right? Decent topic. I've heard people still get divorced. So all you got to do is choose that, type in your town where you want this to go, and you could expand the radius if you want. It doesn't matter because it's not geographically specific. And this is a $50 ad because it's designed to get listing leads. And we know from this analysis here that listing leads cost almost $6 each. So we can just publish. And when people respond to this, you will get their name and email and phone number. And we're also going to ask them how soon do they need to sell, right? If somebody says, and I think the options are like, 1 to 3 months, 3 to 6 months, and more than 6 months. So if somebody is responding like, I need to sell in less than 3 months, I hope you are getting active to convert that lead. Okay. So that's it, kind of, that's how you run a PDF report ad. All right. Now, when they respond, and let me remind you, this ad, as it appears, will not be sponsored by Listings to Leads. It will be sponsored by your business page, and it will be sitting right here where my friend's dog's face is. Okay. And when they click on that, you see where it says comment? There will be a button that says download or learn more here. Wherever they click, you're going to get their name, phone number, and email, and they will get a link to download the report. So you don't really need to do much. You do want to start responding and say, hey, I saw you downloaded that report. Can I help you? Are there any other questions, or blah, blah, blah. And that's how you start the dialogue, right? Now, let's see here. So the lead form is automatic with the ad. Yes. Yeah. Let me explain that, guys. Let me go back to the ads page. And every time that you click any button, I'm going to click a landing page button now here, right? And I'm going to click new construction. Anytime you can see that there's traffic or lead ads. Now, if you change it to traffic, it actually drives them to a page. You decide the page. It could be a landing page that we created. It could even be your website. You can drive traffic wherever you want to drive it. But we are defaulting to this, which says lead ads. Okay. So I got a new construction landing page. I'm going to click lead ads. And when I do that, it's about new construction, right? All I got to do is type in the town I want, right? So, but I want to show you this. Now, I'm showing this to you just for your knowledge. You don't need to be doing this. Click on advanced options and click create a new form. This is the form that automatically pops up when they respond. This over here on the right. And you see where it says full name and email and phone number? That is pre-populated from the Facebook profile of the person who clicked it. Okay? So this, what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing is 75% of those phone numbers are accurate. My recommendation to you guys is ideally you've got a CRM connected to your account with listings to leads so that you've got a drip campaign going. But if you have a phone number, I would make it a habit of texting people once a day, like just once a day, to just say, hey, I saw that you were interested in new construction. Are you, what's your time frame to buy? Or say, you know what, there are 5 different projects going on. Would you like me to notify you about them, right? Do whatever you can. People, if you think about lead conversion, which is it's a whole different topic. If you get a lead with a phone number, you know what most realtors want to do? Call you. I'm going to call you right now. Let's have coffee and talk, right? But unfortunately, these people don't even know who you are. And I can tell you, I get calls all the time, and I don't answer the phone for anybody I don't know. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you do that too, especially because you don't want to hear about the car warranties and all that stuff. So, but if you've got it on a drip campaign, well, now they can see your emails. But not a lot of people respond to that as well, because that's like, oh, I didn't sign up for that. What's that, right? You do it because you got to do it. But you know what people do respond to? Text. And if you're not trying to blow up their phone with like 10 texts in one day, you just are service focused. Hey, I'm here. I'm busy too. Here's some other added value I can bring to you. Would you like, a list of homes? Here's a new construction. Would you like to know about it? Ask those questions that sort of start the dialogue. What I'm trying to get to is people respond to text more than phone calls and more than email. So you should really be thinking about that. I'm going to tell you something new that we have that's going to be coming up with text, but that's just an important point. So do you understand that answer, my long-winded answer, those things are being pre-populated by the profiles. Now, everybody who has Facebook has a profile, and they're always asking you, like, is this your phone number and is this your email? Because you're going to need it if you get locked out of your account. So 75% of the time, those numbers are right? And our clients love that, right? Okay, good, glad, Jen. So we talked about Facebook ads. We talked about how to run listing ads. We talked about PDF report ads. And I also just showed you how to run a new construction ad. But I'm going to do this one, which is probably one of the first ads that realtors started doing on Facebook. It's what is your home worth? Okay. Now, I talked about listing leads before, and obviously this is designed to capture listing leads. But let me make it real clear to you. This is one of the least effective ways of getting listing leads that turn into listing contracts. Now, you can do it. It's very easy, right? You just choose a landing page, you type in your town, and you click publish. But you do have to kind of add more text there, right? Now, it depends again on the competition in your market. But, I talk to realtors every day, and what I am hearing is inventory is tight in the United States. If it's tight for you, this may not be the most effective way of getting listings. It is a way, however, to brand yourself. Again, it's going to be sponsored by your business page. And when you run an ad for 50 bucks or 30 bucks, 1,000 people at least are going to see this. And they're going to know that you can help them value their home, right? So there is some branding value here, but I'm not super psyched about the lead gen quality of this kind of ad. Okay, so these are the kinds of ads that you can run. I will say this, when we go here to this page, and let me just say, it's 5 minutes to the hour, and I got in here late, and I want to apologize for that, but I'm going to go late because I want to show you some of the new technology that we just added. This call is being recorded, and it will be in our mastermind group, and you can use a support team to get in the mastermind group. But I'm going to show you a little bit right now about how to create a custom landing page, and then I'm going to show you the latest technology that we've added to this, which is super powerful stuff. So if you don't have time to stay with me today, go check out the last 10 minutes of this call on recording. So you can create listing ads, landing page ads, PDF guide ads. There is actually a landing page section over here, and you can create any kind of landing page. You click this green button and say, hey, I want to create a custom landing page for buyers or for sellers, or an empty nester landing page, or a FSBO landing page, right? You can do all these things. And when you create them, then you can go over here to ads, and you can drive people to them, right? Like over here, if I click on this, the default ones are here, any home value, but all my custom ones are down here, okay? And so you can do that. I do want to caution you though, especially when it's coming to buyers. It doesn't make a lot of sense to create a custom buyer landing page for like sign up for a free list of homes in Alabama, whatever city it is, right? Because the market, consumers already know that they can go to the internet and in 2 seconds say homes for sale in wherever, right? And they're going to see all homes for sale. So they don't need to sign up on your web page for something that they can go get the answer to, like bang, right now, right? So that's it. But here's where creating a custom landing page really works. If you've got a niche like waterfront homes or lakefront homes or golf course homes or horse properties, right? If you've got a unique kind of list that people want, well, then creating a landing page for buyers works, and then capturing leads that way. That can totally work, right? But not a general specific town search. That does not really work very well. Okay, so that's the kinds of ads you can run there. Let's talk about the new technology that's been added recently. First thing is on the listings page. And if you're an agent with a lot of listings, this is what you can do. Let's click on settings up here. And let's click on ads, and let's turn on automated ads. You can set a monthly budget. Here's a good monthly budget, 300 bucks a month. And decide what ads, what statuses do you want to run? I would say coming soon, just listed, open house, and just sold. So anytime you have a home in your account, that's one of those 4 statuses, we will run an ad. And you got a maximum number of ads per week. If you only got 1 or 2 listings in your account, it's not going to run more than 2 ads, right? So, but here's what you got to think of. Like I mentioned earlier that you should run 2 ads every week, and you should spend $200 to $300 a month. You see how it says over here, it's sponsored by the best listings. Well, that's going to be sponsored by your page. So one thing I didn't say is, if you're spending $300 a month, let's just say you're spending $200 a month on 8 ads a month. Your business page, meaning sponsored by, will be seen by 15 to 20,000 people every month. That's awesome for your brand. More people are going to know you're a realtor. You should be doing this every month. You will collect 100, 200, maybe more leads every month. Okay. And so that's great for your lead gen. So you're building your brand, collecting leads. Now, if you're the kind of agent that just completely forgets how to do this, automation is great. If you're the kind of agent with like 5 or more listings, you're just going to get too busy to come in and click those buttons and run those ads. You might be an agent that forgets everything I say at the end of this call. and you are not really good at being consistent. Automation can help you in a lot of ways. So that's under listings, under settings, click ads, and you can have us automatically run ads for your listings. We are going to add running automated ads for your PDF guides. You could say, I want all seller guides to go, or all seller ads, or all buyer ads, or a mixture, right? So that we're going to get to the point where we can do that. All right. Let me ask you this for everybody who's here. Do you all have a CRM? Yes or no? If you could, put it in the chat panel. Follow-ups here is one of our latest pushes of a drip campaign. There's a drip campaign for buyers, there's a drip campaign for sellers. And this is going to get more and more robust throughout this year of 2022. Right now, it includes in-house written follow-ups. It also incorporates our PDF guides. Remember the ones that are branded to you? So every time, like every other or every third message is going to have a PDF guide. We're even going to be adding video so that you can create video or take a YouTube video and snap it in, because people will look at videos and emails and they'll really slow down and look at it. We're going to be adding text to this, and we're going to be adding kind of automated voicemail directly. So this is going to be very powerful. So when I ask the question, like, do you have a CRM? Some of you say yes, and some of you say no. I think, a lot of agents don't have a CRM. And I even talk to agents that do have a CRM, but never really set it up. Follow-up is critically important to getting a lead converted. And if you've not set up your CRM for drip campaigns, or if you did set up your CRM for drip campaigns and you just don't get a lot of business for your CRM, I recommend you turn this on and have us do this, because this is going to get more and more powerful. There are CRMs, and then there's what I call CRM 2.0. There's a new level of CRMs out there. There's an add-on to CRM, interactive CRM. There's Agent Legend. There's all these other companies, Shoutboss, that do a lot. The things I just listed, they're doing a lot. They're hitting leads with all different directions. And I think that's like CRM 2.0, right? That is, we're using all the technology that's available, and we're hitting these people from multiple directions, and they respond. They respond because they're realizing you're busy, but you're trying to get to them as well, to help them. So I would definitely turn on follow-ups if I were you there. Okay. So yeah, so let me say a couple more things. And I didn't show you this about running ads. So let's go back to ads. And this one is a handful. It's not a handful technology-wise. It's very powerful. So again, thank you for hanging out with me. I'm going to explain this to you. I haven't shown this to you before, but it's this very, very powerful part of our platform and a part of Facebook. And that is called retargeting. I don't know if you guys know what retargeting is. I'm not even going to ask who knows, because in my gut tells me for talking to realtors for 12 years, I don't think 1% of realtors know what Facebook retargeting is. And even if they knew what it is, it's even a smaller percentage that can actually do it, because it's actually a bear to set up in Facebook. Now, right here, in my view, you can see these 3 green buttons, and this button over here that's create audience, right? And when you sign up and you connect your Facebook, you're going to see these 3 green buttons. You're also going to see a green box like this and a yellow one, and the yellow one's going to say accept the custom audience terms and conditions, accept the terms of custom audience. Let me say to you guys, please accept that. And I'm going to explain this all very slowly, and I want you to understand what I'm saying here, right? There's going to be a yellow box and it say accept the terms and conditions of custom audience. Click on it and it's going to take you to a page on Facebook. And it's this long terms and conditions. It's like your Apple terms and conditions, just this horrible software stuff. But on the top left of that page will be one button that says accept. Click that button on Facebook and accept those terms. And then come back to this page, right? Because it's going to open up a page on Facebook and you're going to accept it on Facebook, and then come back to this page and click the refresh button on your browser and refresh it. And that little yellow box will change and it will say turn on retargeting. And click that button and turn on retargeting. And that is going to turn on one of the most powerful things in Facebook advertising that not even 1% of people know about. Now, what that tells us at Listings to Leads to do is to take every lead that you capture in the past and in the future, wherever you capture it from. If it's sitting in this leads tab over here on the left, we're going to create a file in your Facebook account. And they're going to be 3, but I want you to focus on one. It says L2L buyer and seller leads. Okay. All of your leads are going to go in that file. And then when you're running an ad, any ad, you can say, I want to retarget those leads. So let me explain what I'm talking about here. I'm going to create a listing ad. I'm going to create an ad for an open house. And I'm going to say, create an ad, lead ads, because I like pre-populated phone numbers. And it's going to go out to Berkeley. I'm going to expand the radius because I want more people to see this home for sale. And then I'm going to check this box that says retarget current leads. Okay. And if I click here, I can say, type in L2L, and I can say my buyer and seller audience. And every time you run an ad, you should do this. Okay. And here I'm going to explain to you why. When this ad goes out, right, it's going to show up on this page for everyone that lives within 35 miles of Berkeley. But it's also going to go to everybody in my lead list, right? So if I capture more leads tomorrow, those are going to be automatically added to this list. This list is going to get fatter and fatter inside of my private Facebook account. And if you ever say, I'm tired of listening to Scott and Vince and I hate them and the system sucks, your leads are going to be sitting in your Facebook account and you can kind of use them in the future. Now, there is something weird about Facebook custom audiences, okay? And that is that if that list does not have 1,000 people in it, you're not, they won't even let you use it. I don't know why, but it is just a rule that Facebook has. That list has to have 1,000 people, okay? So that's interesting, right? Now, I might be losing some of you right now, but I'm gonna go even a little bit deeper, okay? If some of you are brand new agents, you don't have a database. You don't have a list of people probably that you can market to. You don't have them sitting in a CRM or anything like that. But I'm gonna guess some of you have been in this business for a while, and you might have like 1,000 or 2,000 leads sitting in an Excel spreadsheet or sitting in your old CRM, and you can download them. And once you do that, if you go to this ads page, let me click on ads again, you will see create an audience. And this is very simple. You can call it my dusty CRM leads and upload that spreadsheet of those leads. Now over here, it shows you what the name of the spreadsheet should be. There's really only 4 columns. And let me tell you, once you import that, it will then be available next time you want to run a PDF report ad, right? you can say, well, yeah, I want it to go to everybody in Berkeley or wherever you want it to go, right? We'll say Berkeley Farms, Delaware, and I want to retarget. And if you called it My Dusty Leads or whatever you called it, you would be able to type that name in here and it would pull it in, and you can target your listings to leads, your L to L leads, right? Here's the thing about lead generation. When we talk about lead gen and capturing leads, I kind of think that there is not another company that is generating the volume of leads that our clients are generating. Now, they don't all figure it out because you do have to kind of, use our system and stuff like that. But boy, I've got clients, that number of, 447 leads, that's not like a one-time deal, right? This happens fairly frequently. This guy here, hey, 45 bucks spent, and I got 270 leads, right? And I can tell you, we called him, that was October 18th. We called him a following week. He says, oh, no. Now I have like nearly 500 leads, right? Or 300 leads. So we've been helping our clients capture leads all the time. Well, not all the time, but definitely we've got this down in the past few years. Like, we know what we're doing, and our clients start to figure it out, and they start doing it. So one big focus for listings to leads is helping you convert leads. And the way you convert leads is you get in front of those leads, your CRM, your text, or your Facebook ads, right? So you're reaching out to those old leads and staying in front of them by saying, hey, yeah, my little, Rockstar business page is right there in front of you. If you want to convert leads, well, you do want to convert leads if you like to earn money. That's just, I hope I don't sound crude, but that is a reality. So let's look over here. I see some questions. And does the Excel or CRM need to be in a certain format? Yes, Jan. Let's go back to the ads page. And I think I answered it, but since you asked, let's. So if I create an audience, the format is right here. It's pretty simple. Email, phone number, first name, and last name. You want to use those exact titles. Email, number, first name, last name. And that data needs to sit there, right? Now, let me say one even more, this is even freakier. This is even freakier, and I'm gonna stop at this one because this will blow your minds. I'm gonna show you one more thing, and then I'm gonna stop. Okay, and then if you have any questions, please put them in now, because after I show you this, I am going to answer your questions and say goodbye. So we talked about how to create a custom audience, but notice this lookalike audience. I would like you to write that down. Write down Facebook lookalike audience and Facebook special ad category audience. And go to YouTube when you have some downtime and look at what people are saying about those and how to create them. I'm going to give you a little bit of a hint right now. So I want you to kind of hear what I'm about to say. And this is really for agents with a lot of listings sitting somewhere. Some of you have paid Zillow hundreds of dollars a month for a bunch of leads that are doing nothing. If you can put all your leads together in a big file and put them on Facebook, do this. And then create the custom audience, call it whatever you want to call it, and then go to YouTube and find out how to create a lookalike audience. And let me explain to you what a lookalike audience is. Let's just imagine that you have 1,000 leads from Zillow, all right? And you just got them in an Excel spreadsheet, and you load them and you call them My Zillow leads. You then go to Facebook and you say, hey, Zillow, I want to create a lookalike audience. And then you say, and I want it to look like the people in that Zillow file. So let me explain to you what that actually means. I don't know if you read the news on Facebook. There's always really fun news, and there's always really spooky news. Like Facebook knows way too much about you because of the apps on your phone and because of like whatever. They know way more about you than you would like. So when you create a custom audience of 1,000 people on Zillow and you say, hey, Zillow, make a lookalike audience of those 1,000 people over there and just give me a whole nother list of 1,000 people. They're going to go, okay. And they're going to go, and they're going to take their algorithms and all their fun AI stuff. And they're going to go, well, that person does, these people do this and that, and they eat here and they travel here and all they do these things. And let's get another 1,000 people that do all those things that you don't even know what they do. You just know they're a lead. And let's make another carbon copy version of another 1,000 people that have those same behaviors and characteristics. That's what a lookalike audience is. And if you were paying hundreds of dollars a month for your leads and you want another group just as big for free, designed by Facebook, that's what a lookalike audience is. So that's kind of techie. This is really techie stuff. So you decide if you need to do that or if you want to do that. So now it's time for question time. Thanks for letting me rant on a little bit. What do we got? Okay, so Jan got that. So actually we don't have any questions. Oh, here's one. Do these ads go to my personal page or business page? Good question. Good question. And I'm so glad you asked that. When you run an ad, you type in where you want it to show up. And you could say, I want it to retarget, right? Like I've been talking about just now, all my old leads. So in this case, it's going to show up on a radius of 15 miles of Dallas, Texas, right? So let me click right here on the news feed again. Your ad is going to show up on this news feed right here. It is only going to show up for people who live within 15 miles of Dallas. And it's going to show up right here on this news feed. When they log in, they're going to see it right here. It's going to be sponsored by you, by your business page, okay? If you're using a custom audience retargeting, and there's like 1,000 people, whether they're leads from listings to leads or whether they're your old Zillow leads, this ad is going to show up right on this news feed on that page as well. The paid ad will never show up on your business page or your personal page. I hope that answers your question, Linda. This is targeting an audience, and it shows up right here where they're scrolling through 40 minutes every day. Okay, Brian showed up late. This call is being recorded, and it's funny because I'm looking at this thing from a friend of mine on TikTok. This call is going to be in our mastermind group, okay? If you're not in our mastermind group, is a private group on Facebook, and you will not see it if you're not in it. It looks like this. So to get in the mastermind group, you go down to support in your account on the bottom left of your page and just say, hey, please add me to the mastermind group, okay? This call is being recorded and it will probably be there in the next 2 to 3 hours, right? And I recommend, if you're new to us, there are 3 calls that we typically do, that I do. One is this call, which is Facebook advertising. One is getting started, and I think I did a getting started class on Monday. So if you scroll down, you will see my right here, get started, right? This is on Monday, right? And if you keep going to the previous week, you will see my calls for the top tools to get more listings. If you're somebody that wants more listings, I would really recommend that you watch that call. Right here, January 31st, right? If you're somebody who's just getting started, I would watch you get started. And then of course I'd watch this call here. I repeat these 3 calls every few weeks. So it's wise to actually, you don't have to listen to me real time. You could actually scroll down here because every week we add them right here. But you can get your answers, you can get your questions answered if you're here live with me. And also, I am always talking about what is new. And so it's really smart to be on live calls with me or to go check out the latest calls, because I usually open up my calls with what's new. Today, what is new and what I've shown you today, we've actually had for a few weeks, so I kind of saved it for the end. So everybody, I appreciate all your questions. I hope you learned something here, and I hope you were able to use this. Let me make it really straight and clear for you. If you're going to be in real estate right now and for the next few years, you need to have a consistent Facebook ad strategy. Right here, this is TikTok, and I can tell you TikTok is scaring the bejesus out of Facebook. I, however, and Scott and I have not figured out how to help our clients monetize this. I am going to actually put some, I'm going to re-download this because it's just such a time waster. It is such a time waster. It's worse than Facebook. And man, it looks like it's just designed for kids just to sit there and blather on about nothing. But there are some adults trying to figure it out because they can see what I can see, and what Facebook sees is new subscriptions are going to that platform and not going to Facebook. So Facebook is getting it right in the teeth right now in the stock market. And I'm certainly going to keep my eyes open. As I mentioned, we've been around for 12 years. We started, you may not know this, we had one tool. It was a one-click listing generator, a one-click ad generator for Craigslist. You guys know what Craigslist is? It was a hotbed for lead gen. And we were so good there that we took what we learned there and we applied it across everything on social media. And when that Craigslist was a big deal, TikTok was never even a dream. So at Listings to Leads, we adapt to the environment, to the online environment. It's wise to be clients of ours, because if something is coming down, we tend to figure it out. And just as an aside, there are things like Clubhouse, which I kind of understand, kind of don't. There are other platforms like Reddit and stuff like that. But this TikTok is probably the next one. Snapchat was chatted about for a long time by realtors. Even Twitter was a big story. I don't think it's a big story for real estate anymore. I think it's still a great news story. But Snapchat just never really turned into an environment for realtors to make money. We'll probably be looking at TikTok. I know I will be. And if I can sort of see how adults play here and can, grow their business, we'll definitely be sharing that. One last thing, which is totally legit, and definitely you want to be listening and following our business page, is we are adding Google AdWorks to our platform. And Google ads are more expensive, but they are very valuable leads. So you're going to want to be taking advantage of that and know what we're doing there. So everybody, thanks so much for joining me. This call is being recorded. It will be up in the Mastermind Group. Lean on our support team. They are awesome. The trick to Listings to Leads is using the tools. So please use them. Be good and keep safe. Thanks so much.